Hey guys, I'm here with my good friend Josh Kelley. We're going to be talking today about the beauty of the Lord. It's going to be a quick video, but it's going to be so rich with enticement. This is what we want to see, is people enticed to the person of Jesus.
Yeah.
Don't you think that enticement is so much better than discipline?
Definitely. I think being awestruck is it's a choice, but you see him and you're awestruck and it's like, I can't turn away.
Yeah.
It's the being stuck,
It really is a secret. And in Psalm 45, David writes this phrase. He says, "My heart overflows." This just kind of flies in the face of this modern movement of no feeling. Or obedience is just like 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah.
The last thing God is looking for is outward conformity.
Right.
He's looking for a heart. And so he starts off this psalm with, "My heart is literally overflowing." It's bursting up and over.
Yeah. And the Passion Translation says, "My heart is on fire, boiling over with passion. Bubbling up within me are these beautiful lyrics."
Right.
And that's our song to the Lord,
Yeah.
being stuck with him and just singing, saying, I can't say anything but praises.
That's beautiful. And then it goes on to say what he's singing about, or what is causing his heart to erupt. He goes, "You are fairer than the sons of men." He is more beautiful than any other person. And it says, "Grace is poured upon your lips." Literally, his lips are glistening with grace. And then it says, "Therefore God has blessed you forever."
Yeah. Yeah. Truly God has anointed you his favored one for eternity. That's, as people, our enjoyment comes from being favored, to be seen in the eyes of people, to be seen and just to be seen and to be the favored one. Every one of us, all of his creations, can be the favored one, right? And it's just like when John, we were just talking about it, when John calls himself, "I'm the beloved disciple."
Yeah.
I'm the disciple whom Jesus loves. We can all go in knowing that we're the favored one.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It really is beautiful. And above all, the favored one is Jesus. And then we're inside of Jesus, so that the wonderful favor that is on the person of Jesus now comes upon us, undeserved favor. And that's the beauty of what his love does to us. He goes on from here to talk about how God subdues his enemies. And it's funny to me that when he's talking about subduing his enemies, he uses words like majesty and splendor. It's almost as if he pierces them with splendor and subdues them with his majesty.
Right.
It's like, all I'm going to do is show you how incredible I am, and you will fall.
My splendor goes out to war,
Right.
It's not something you normally think about, splendor being in war, but he is after us.
Yeah.
He wants to conquer us. And we're his children who've turned away. And he was like, "I have to give you my goodness to bring you back."
Yeah.
That is the defeating power of the enemy, of God anyways, to come and defeat the enemy and bring him back.
Right. I mean, I know in my life, you probably the same way. Sin was not overcome by struggle. Sin was not overcome by restrictions. Sin was not overcome in my life by making a decision to stop doing something.
Right.
It came about as an inevitable result of seeing the beauty of the Lord. Chris and I were talking earlier. It's about being preoccupied.
Yeah.
There's something so much more beautiful and satisfying than the things that would have dominated me in the past. Wouldn't you say that's what happened in your life?
No, exactly. When I first gave my life to Christ, I say in 2016 because that's when I was really transformed. But I would see myself slip into something, and it wasn't me making the choice, okay, now I've got to choose not to do this. I got to do this, this, and this. But it was the Lord saying, "Okay, I see that you did that. Let me show you my grace in the situation." And I just was enamored with his grace. It was like, this is a grace that I feel to where I don't want to do these things. So it's no longer me choosing not to. I'm just choosing him because I feel his grace.
Yeah.
So, and that's where a lot of people get kind of off track, is if you're not met by grace when you fall, and you say, oh, I just sinned. If you're not met with grace, but you're met with condemnation, it's not the Father. He meets you with grace to show you, hey, this is better than what you just did. And let me offer it to you so you can come and partake.
Yeah. That's beautiful. And continuing on in Psalm 45, we see that, man, I love this. You have loved righteousness and hated wickedness. Therefore, your God has anointed you with the oil of joy above your fellows. To me, it's saying that the reason why so many people struggle with depression and they have lack of joy is because there's still a love for some unrighteousness. There's still a love for wickedness. Because it says you have loved righteousness and hated wickedness, therefore. God has put this joy on you. So I really feel like when we recognize you love something unrighteous, that's a good thing. Because then you offer that to the Lord and say, Lord, I still love this thing. I give it to you. And in that place, you're offering over this other love to the one that you love. And joy comes upon your head by offering over to God the thing that you recognize you need his help to let go of. Have you seen something like that in your own life?
Definitely, in my own life. There's and I'll even use ministry as an example. I've been really trying to build something, and it's just the joy of letting it go and say, Lord, if you've given this to me, then I'm holding it with an open hand, because I can hold on to it and I can start striving and start separating myself from him. And so I just give it over. I give it over to you. Take it. And he actually told me a few weeks ago that he goes, stop trying to impregnate my vision with your efforts. Because that will kill. That will kill the vision. My efforts in his vision destroys it. It's his effort and his work that builds his vision.
That's so good. I wrote down I think it was yesterday, something very similar. That the command that Jesus gives to us for living like branches. So the very command to live like branches makes activity and efforts obsolete.
That's it.
It's a secret. So then we go on, and your garment, his garments are fragrant. This is how beautiful he is, that he carries with him a fragrance. It even says here that the stringed instruments make him glad. He's just full of joy. And even down, if you go down a little further, it starts talking about his palace is filled with gladness. Therefore, be led with gladness and enter into his palace. God's palace is a palace of gladness. He's just overflowing with joy. And then the last thing really that stuck out to me is in verse 10, and this to me hit me harder than anything else. It says, listen, ... then your king will desire your beauty. There's something about listening that makes you attractive to God. Now, he is attracted to humanity, period. But when somebody chooses to give their attention to him, it grips his attention, and it attracts him to them. Wouldn't you say?
No, I would say, I know the Passion Translation says, pay attention. It says, now listen, daughter, pay attention. And forget about your past. That's the key. If we don't forget about our past, we can't remember him. And I think Madame Guyon writes about that. You have to forget about yourself and only remember God. Then that's all you have. That's all you have to think about is God. If you're only remembering him and what he's done and what he's doing and what he will do, then there's nothing else to think about. So, and if I'm not forgetting about my past, and I'm still thinking of myself instead of thinking of him. And I think about Matthew 11, where he says, come and I'll give you rest. If people are restless, it's because they haven't come to him. And I don't know, he's got the best invitations to the best communion ever.
That's true. And everything he invites us into is his person. So back to where we began, the issue is the beauty of the Lord. Seeing him for what and who he really is. He is the desire of all nations. So maybe you're watching this right now and you have been struggling with sin. It's just been overcoming you again and again and again. And you say, man, I want to be free. And I know that I can be free, but for some reason I'm not free. We want to tell you that he who receives the truth or knows the truth, this is the person of the Lord. He who knows the person of the Lord is set free. And this is the reason why he sets you free, so you can be free. So this is what we want to say to you. We will actually pray. Lord, I pray that the beauty and majesty of your person would come in and preoccupy every viewer out of the dominion of sin. Father, so they can live in victory and freedom in Jesus' name because of the beauty of the Lord. Even as I said earlier, Lord, pierce them with your splendor and subdue them with your majesty. Wrap them in your love. May they taste of you. In your precious name. Yeah. Any last thoughts?
No, I think that's about it, you know. Just be awestruck.
That's it.
You know?
Yeah. So subscribe to Visible Jesus on YouTube. You will love it. He's taking his camera around and revealing Jesus in life. What's the slogan?
Every person, every nation, they must see him. Yeah. They must see him. It's not an option.
Yeah.
You know? And we're going after revival and just really catching it on film. You know, I feel that the Lord's told me I'm not going to be put in these big grandeur like scenarios, but I'm going to the grassroots, you know, to where there may only be 40 people and nobody knows it, but the glory of God is so thick there. And I've got to capture that stuff, you know. And so that's my goal, you know, not only to kind of bring some short teachings, short films, but some mini documentaries that are really showing the glory and the move of God so that everybody knows, oh, it's happening there, it can happen here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
It's wonderful.